There is a hidden place between Rome and Tuscany, and is the place where you can find everything you just saw on the theme. But let me get Julia on board. Hey, Julia, how are you?
I'm fine, Giulio. And you, how are you?
I am very good. I want you right away on because I want to tell you something. So, you remember
Okay.
last week we had this lovely show with the mayor of Villa San Giovanni and with
Yeah,
Chiara Di Valerio from New Hampshire. And then Roy came on board. You remember?
yes. It
Well, it
was a
is
surprise.
my honor and my pride to say that we actually reached 25,000 views.
Oh, oh really?
It's
That's awesome.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Beyond my wildest dream. Beyond.
Oh,
Beyond.
yeah, yeah. Really.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Great.
I understand it's cold, but it's a beautiful weather during the day. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. But
I
it's cold at night, so. Okay, but it's winter, so I don't complain at all. I love it. I
well,
have always
coming
my,
back,
you know.
and I understand that every day you go for the live show to your cold house, and you have to be ready to suffer a
Yes,
little bit, right?
you're right.
Okay. So today we have an old friend with us. Let me bring on Roy. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. Nice to see you guys.
Did you hear last week 25,000?
Oh,
Amazing.
it's unbelievable. So
Unbelievable.
hopefully some percentage of those people will show up here in Tuscia.
Oh, I'm actually pretty sure. I'm actually pretty sure. But guys, I have a new friend to introduce. His name is Andrea, and actually, he represents something for me. So let me make a point. So Roy, 12 years ago, decided to follow the love of his life, Rita, and go back in Tuscia because Rita had some connection, right? And of course, Roy, we love you, right? We really love you, right? And the same thing,
Julia does, but I don't. I don't care. Okay.
and the same thing actually happened with Andrea, our new friend. Let me introduce him a second. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Andrea, are you there? Andrea is having some difficulties with internet tonight, unfortunately. Andrea, we can see you. Can you hear us? Ay, 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 ay. Hi, Andrea. Are you there? Ay, 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 ay. Sorry, Andrea. Come back to us. Maybe the next connection is going to be better. Okay, so let me finish. Andrea was somewhere in the world, but decided, likewise, to go back to Tuscia for his golden years, right? So he retired. He has a beautiful white dog and an as beautiful black cat, and he goes for these long walks in Tuscia. And here he is. Andrea, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Andrea,
now I can, but I don't know how long it's gonna stay the connection. I'm
so
sorry, we should have checked it before.
well, let's go for it. So who are you? What do you do? Why Tuscia?
Let's see. Let's see. Right. Actually, I know Tuscia since a long time because when I was a kid, I used to go often to San Martino al Cimino, which is
Yeah.
so I knew already the lake, Lago di Vico, and I went to a cinema theater. It was in Ronciglione to see Anche gli angeli mangiano fagioli. It was an old stupid film. And then it was about 40 years ago. My parents bought a house in Capranica, a big house with where I'm staying now. And so I've been here for 40 years only for the weekends to visit my parents and actually to stay with them, to be with them. And so I had never been to Capranica on Sundays, for example. And now in the last couple of years, I moved here, and then my parents, after lots of stories, my parents died, and I decided to leave Rome and to move to Capranica. So I'm not taking elevators. I'm burning my own wood warm myself. And I'm taking care of this hazelnuts cultivation. So I've learned also to cook wild boar meat. And actually, I over the years, I developed a passion for walking. And so, but I don't like to take the car and go somewhere and walk. I like to walk from home. And now I can do that. And I've already learned how to walk from Capranica to Blera to Ronciglione, all without outside the roads on tracks, and it's beautiful. And in the last couple of years, I'm getting used to. I mean, I'm beginning to get to know the people here, especially because at first I was there on a lockdown.
So, Andrea,
COVID.
what are we looking at right now?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Andrea, what are we looking at right now?
Yeah.
Do you see?
Oh, this is Viterbo. I don't know actually where. It's medieval Viterbo. Oh, this is my cat Hayek. This is a breakfast outside, because it's very often in the morning, early morning, I feed my animals. And then after a while, I'm cold and I realize I'm the only one without fur.
And what about this one?
Astra is this big maremmana, and she came here. She's gonna be 1 year old in a couple weeks, and we walk a lot, and she's beautiful because she knows already. I've trained her since she was little to walk around, to meet cows, people, other dogs. She's been chased after by donkeys, wild donkeys, so she knows everything. She's been to the seaside. She knows how to deal with wild boar, not to go too close to them.
Okay, let me ask you this. I think this is Capranica, right?
Sorry?
Is this Capranica?
Yes, this actually was a very long walk, because sometimes I asked some friends to drive me away and then to walk back to Capranica. And I walk from Veiano to Capranica, and this is the vision. You're back, you're arrived.
I see. How many kilometers do you walk on a regular walk?
Well, about 20 kilometers.
That's real stuff. So one question for you.
I'm used to it, and you always find a special route to cut somewhere, and it's so pleasant. You forget everything when you walk.
Let me ask Andrea. So can you describe for us what you see in these walks? Because we keep saying that in Tuscia, nature is untouched. The mankind didn't do much. So we imagine a beautiful scenario at every corner. Can you confirm that?
No, I'm saying no. Man, I've been doing a lot here, but 2,000 years ago. You walk in the woods and you find Etruscan ruins, or there's a place where there are two medieval Roman tombs Roman graves made into medieval towers are there, and you can see them only if you walk through the woods, through the hazelnuts cultivations. Sometimes when I walk, I see the kind of paths where I'm walking, and you realize this must a bit middle-aged road, probably. So what I'm saying is there's lots of. It's amazing in such a close place to Rome to find such a form of wilderness. So, and at the same time, it's full of history. So when I got friends here, I can walk to Sutri along the Via Francigena in 7 kilometers. And it is a very old road. It's a very old track.
Roy, is this your own impression?
Also, you got some places like the Lago di Vico, even the Roman legions. And
Roy, is this your own impression that you can walk and you can see this fantastic ruin from Etruscan, Roman time, and so forth? Is that the same feeling?
It is. I think I mentioned in another episode that I haven't done as much walking as I should. My idea of walking is to play golf. So, for instance, I walked from here in Villa San Giovanni over to Bleda on a, I don't know how ancient the track is, but it's maybe 5 kilometers to get there. And now they have the village here and several other villages have set up these trails, and just in this area, there's probably 100 or 200 kilometers of trails. So
I'm actually in touch with somebody named Alessandro Selbman. He's one of the people that deals with CAI, C-A-I, which is, I believe, something Alpino Italiano, Centro Alpino, something like that, Alpino Italiano. And this is what they do. They sign a walk. They put those little white, red, and black thing. And he was telling me that there is like a universe, literally. It's probably much more than 200K around. And we are working on something for the northern part of Tuscia. There is something that we want to work on that is called the Walk of Canapa. Canapa, apparently, I don't know much about this. It's something that you use for clothes and stuff. And there is a lake very famous called Laghetto di Mezzano Lake, where in the old days they used to do this thing. And they want to do a little path there, which is great. Let me see if Andrea is back. Andrea, can you hear me now? Andrea has a hard time with the connection. So I'm going to pose a question. Hopefully he's going to get it eventually.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, Andrea.
Sometimes I can hear you.
And I want you to tell us your interaction with Capranica, with the Borgo, right? And particularly the way you go shopping. Can you tell us? No?
Oh, yeah, because because of a series of circumstances, I don't own a car. And so I always walk to the village, and then I guess that Giulio was referring to something that mentioned that sometimes I go to the local supermarket with my wheelbarrow, and I ask them if I park it outside, and I use them to carry food home, because it's so close, it's easy. And I go to the village. I always walk to the village, which is basically on the other. I live at the place where I live is kind of a hill of the shape of a iron. So it's like a long and with a flat plain on the top with the house and lots of woods around.
Well, Andrea, I don't know if you can hear me.
So it's very... that's my way of going to the village, is to go shopping there. In some cases with wheelbarrow. Sorry?
And I don't know if you can hear me, but somebody live is asking us, Andrea, what about Caprarola? Is it close to Capranica?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So what about Caprarola? Is it close to Capranica? Do you know Caprarola? No, the connection with Andrea is too tricky tonight.
Oh.
Can you hear me? Okay, this is annoying because whoever is listening to us hear me always saying, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So let's give it up. So Giulia, I think you have to kick in. So we have been asked about Caprarola. Do you know Caprarola?
Yes, I know Caprarola. I don't think they are so close. Of course, any villages are close. If you think about that on your American perspective. But okay, here, if I have to drive more than 10 minutes, 20 minutes, they are not close, okay? So maybe, I don't know, from Caprarola to Capranica, which is the distance.
I don't know. I don't know, but I want to show everybody why my friend mentioned this incredible place. It's really a jewel. It's something special, to say the least. It's this octagonal construction. that goes back to a Farnese, a Cardinal Farnese, and is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's worth visiting for sure. But let's stick to the plan, so to say. So, Roy, we understand from Andrea's position that walking in Tuscia is fantastic, right? But I have a question for you, Roy. So when people come and visit you, what do you do? What do you show? Where do you take people?
Well, I have several one-day or half-day trips. I mean, our village is right in the middle of everything. So, for instance, the most common one that I do, which everyone loves, is from here to Montefiascone, it's about 25 minutes by car. And Montefiascone, for those who don't know, is fantastic hillside town. And so on the top of this hill, there is an old castle that belonged to the Pope.
Can you recognize this, Roy?
Of course, and the view from this hilltop is unbelievable. This is the Lake Bolsena, and that's one of the things you see. One of the things that my daughter loves this Montefiascone because they have a swing set on top of the hill, and you can swing, and it's like unbelievable. So it's a 360-degree view. It's just spectacular.
Do you see? Can you recognize as well?
No, of course.
This is the so-called Rocca, and from here you have this incredible, as you said, 360 degrees view. Fantastic, literally fantastic.
Yeah, it's
right?
amazing. It's unbelievable. Everyone that I've taken, the dozen people there, and they all just love it. They're quite taken by it. Then we go from Montefiascone over to Lake Bolsena.
So Bolsena, I think I have something. But before we go to Bolsena, do you recognize this one, Roy?
That's Marta.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, this is another. If we're staying in the Bolsena area, we will, rather than going to Bonareggio, which would be at the end of our day, we go over.
Before we move from Bolsena, Bolsena is very well known for the lake. But do you see this one? Do you know this one?
This is I think it's the castle in Bolsena.
Yeah, there is a lovely centro storico, but there is also this castle that is kind of dominant, and it's gorgeous to walk around, and there are these little streets, medieval and stuff. Giulia, do you know Bolsena?
Yes.
Do you go to the lake, or do you stay in the historic center?
Okay, both, of course. The historic center is beautiful, and in the castle there is also an aquarium. It is cute, absolutely well preserved. There are many shops, restaurants, and a lot of things to enjoy. And of course, the lake is absolutely beautiful with the 2 islands, and you can also enjoy a cruise to Martana Island or Byzantine Island. And this is something I love to do with my friends.
I'm not sure this is from Bolsena. On internet, I found it from Bolsena, but I don't think so. Do you think this is Marta or Capodimonte?
Oh, it's hard to say because it's not so clear, but maybe it can be Capodimonte.
But the point is that there are this beautiful, gorgeous spot, right?
Yes, it is.
Roy?
Well, they're everywhere. By the way, Giulia has a friend in Bolsena that is a manager of a fantastic palazzo, a historical palazzo, and it has a hotel in it. But it's a beautiful palazzo. I don't know how old, 1400.
Yes, it's very old.
Not something you read in Steve's guidebooks, but it's worth a trip just to go there. It's fantastic.
So if somebody
Yes, you're
wants
right.
to check out this palazzo, what is it?
Visconti.
Sorry, Giulia?
I think it's Visconti or Visconti. I'm not sure, but it is a beautiful palace, and it is also an hotel diffuso, we say. I don't know how to translate that in English because I found scattered hotel, but Americans are not don't agree with this translation because they don't have it, so they don't know how to translate it. Hotel diffuso means that there are maybe in a place different accommodations, maybe in a district. It is just a hotel, but the accommodations are not in the same place, in the same palace, I mean, but just scattered around the district. In this case, the rooms are scattered in the building, which is not a hotel, of course. It is a palace, not palace beautiful, but of course, in order to maintain it, to keep it well, they need to get some money, and so they need to use it also for accommodations to gain money, of course.
I feel so bad about Andrea because he's really trying to get on board, but every time it appears you guys are talking, so I cannot get him on board. But
Yeah.
let me state another fact that according to legend, so it's a fact about a legend, in one island stay the body of Giulia la Bella, the beautiful Giulia Farnese. I don't know if it is true or not. I don't know. But let me change subject and let me change picture. So Roy, by the way, somebody complimented you because you have a beautiful voice. That's nice. Okay, Roy, here we are. What are we looking at?
The unbelievable fantasy land of Bonareggio. It's really
better myself.
When
Tell us a little more.
When I first came here about 12 years ago, we ended up going to Bonareggio, and I was really kind of shocked by it. It was just it's truly unbelievable, that a place like this exists. Nothing, of course, in the United States is, there's nothing like this at all. And particularly 12 years ago, it was an abandoned, ancient town. It's still somewhat abandoned, but there are people living there. I think they have 12 or 15 people living there now.
Roy, let me stop you 1 second, please. Andrea, can you hear me? Well, apparently
now I can. I mean, I'm very sorry about this.
That's okay.
It's going. I mean, it's crashing every 5 minutes. The connection, even.
That's okay, Andrea. We are in the middle of talking about Civita di Bagnoregio with Roy. So now that you have your connection semi-good, do you want to tell us something about Civita? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's give it up. So, Roy, you were saying 12 years ago, very few people.
Before we go on, you two, Julia and Giulio, you were talking about how cold it is here. It's not cold here. Okay, I play golf every week. I just want to let people in America know I play golf every week. Okay, it's not cold. It's cold for this area in the sense that in the summer it's very warm, but it's in the 50s here during the day. And particularly if the wind's not blowing, then it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I mean, last week I had to take off my sweatshirt and I was in my short sleeve shirt playing golf because the sun is very warm.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yes.
don't be afraid to come here in the this is the coldest time of year, and maybe once every 4 years we have like an inch of snow, which freaks everyone out. But it's not cold here compared to New York City or Boston or Minneapolis or Chicago or even Atlanta. It's perfectly fine here. So anyway.
Yes, that's true. But Italian are, are not like American, when I went to Nebraska, I had my jacket. I was, so covered. My friend didn't have a jacket. It was just with a t-shirt, so it's different. I think Italian, don't cope very well with winter and the cold temperature.
So let me say something. I don't know if Julia you're gonna agree with me, and Roy, please say your 2 cents of wisdom. I think Italians love to complain. Is that right?
Yes, unfortunately. I don't do this so often sometimes, but I prefer to focus on positive points instead of negative points. But unfortunately, there are many people that like just complaining and complaining for everything, particularly for the weather, Oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Roy's face when I said people like to complain? Well, like,
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's just an Italian thing. I think it's true pretty much everywhere. But yes, Italians like to complain. But
I remember my big fat Greek wedding. It was so much fun because they were always nagging, right? And I saw it like it must be a Mediterranean thing because we do the same, right? Oh, I think Roy might have been frozen. Oh, Julia, you there? Oh, so maybe today it is a tough connection. I don't know. Oh, Roy, you're back.
you guys disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe today is hard.
Yeah.
So we were talking about. Look, Roy, you are a great guy. Huh? You have a fan, Roy.
I wish it was a girl.
Yeah. Hey, Roy, I know your wife.
She doesn't mind. She knows I'm an old flirt. So.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Roy, let's go back to our favorite topic. So you went there a few years ago, and very few people live there. Very few people live there as well. But it's a magical place. Tell us more about this magic land.
Well, it's just this unbelievable story. Of course, the question comes: why was it abandoned? And that's because it's been over the centuries. It's been collapsing. Parts of the cliffs have fallen off. I think there was earthquakes a couple of centuries ago, and but when you go there and you walk around this little village, first of all, it's been fixed up.
Yes.
I think most of the property has been bought by I don't know who buys it, but it's been fixed up, and now there's restaurants and souvenir shops, and but certainly a go-to place. It's quite amazing. But it's just one of so from the village here. For instance, we do day trips to Rome from here in San Giovanni. You can go to Rome for a day. You don't have to go stay in a hotel. We can take the train. We can drive. But to drive to the center of Rome is an hour and 20 minutes, and to take the train or the bus, it's an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you know anybody specifically, but for example, how much would it cost to stay in a B&B in Villa San Giovanni?
I know how much it costs because I've had people stay there because my house is small. If a large group comes, they have to stay there. It's 35 euros a night for a room. So if you want, for instance, the B&B here has there's actually 3 bedrooms. So if you have a large family, you might need 2 bedrooms. So that would be 70 euros a night. But and it's very nice. It's very large, very, 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 very nice. So
Roy, I understand there is also one restaurant, right, in Villa?
Well, there's one next door to me, the Da Papone, which has the best pizza in Italy. I always say that, and I mean it. I've had, again, 12 years. I've had that pizza 50 times a year, so I've had 600 of their pizzas. It's the same pizza. It's a pizza named after me. I don't know if I can say this word on your thing, but it's called the Farabutta, Pizza Farabutta.
So can you tell us about the
It's
pizza?
literally named after me. So
Tell us, what do you put on?
it's margherita with fresh tomatoes, onions, and salumi picante.
Very good. And just out of curiosity, how much do they charge you for that?
€6.
So, just to let you know,
this thing would be €20 in New York, and it wouldn't be half as good.
I was about to say the place close by that does a pizza. It's not as good, but it's decent. It's $18.
Yeah.
And in Italy, you can get €6 pizza. You can get €35 accommodation, and of course, you get to look at things like this one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat that. What do you think?
No. It's that's why we say, come here to Tuscia. It's the real Italy. This is it, the real deal.
Okay, Roy, tonight is all about you. I don't know what's going on, but now they say Roy for president. I don't know what they mean, but all of a sudden you are a big shot.
Okay.
So, Giulia, Tuscia is very competitive. Tuscia is a very rich in history place. And as a matter of fact, you are working on a little article for a Valentine special. Is that correct?
Or sorry, what? Valentine. Oh, I changed my topic actually yesterday.
Indeed.
Yes, because I met a very nice guy and we want to collaborate to create an article, but also with very professional pictures. And he works with still life. So we switched our idea on food and wine. And so I don't want to reveal too much. Now we are working on it. And so for the next issue of this magazine, we will have an article about a small village and a carnival, of course, because now there is a carnival and we have frappe, castagnole, and this kind of.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that's the idea. The editor of the magazine said, I love this idea, please go on and write about that. So I didn't want to write about love, about some Valentine, because maybe there are other people who want to propose this topic, and so I switched to another thing.
Giulia, sorry, it's not only about Roy tonight. It's also you. You are fantastic, apparently.
Oh, thank you so much, because I was a bit concerned that
so
nobody wanted to hear me.
let me ask something to
Thank
Roy.
you, Salvatore.
Roy, did you notice how our cuisine changes with occasion and time of the year and so forth?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that, Giulia.
Did you notice how, for example, Giulia was mentioning frappe and caldarola and whatever, like sweets that are cooked during carnival, right?
Carnival, yeah.
So did you notice how our cuisine changes over the time?
Well, I've never thought about it. Cuisine.
In that case, let me tell you. So,
okay.
Mothers and grandmamas cook specific things for specific time of the year. For example, the frittelle di San Giuseppe, the San Joseph frittelle, they are cooked and served and so forth only around the 19th of March, maybe for a week. That's it, right? And that's amazing to me. It's like eggnog, right? In America, you find it only around Christmas, right?
Right.
But in Italy, you have all this cuisine or all these dishes that actually go with the time, which I find it very fascinating. And as a matter of fact, Monday we were talking about with Damiano and Giada in Italian there. And of course, we ended up talking about food like always, because food is really something that brings together everybody, every culture, but in Italy is particularly rich, don't you say?
Yes, of course. But I'm not quite as familiar with these meals you're talking about, although I've had some. You know, there's certain times of the year when we have fava beans and pecorino cheese and salt.
Correct.
When we do the olive harvest, we always are cooking some pork in the olive field with bread. I forget what you call it, where you put the fat on the bread, and I know there's a name for that.
Panunto.
Okay, and of course at Easter, you know, and Easter lunches and Christmas lunches.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys have the same in America, no? Thanksgiving is a very special event, right? Even cook-wise, right?
Yeah. Well, we have my favorite one, of course, is Thanksgiving with the roasted turkey.
Of course. But in Italy, it's every month, I would say. Okay, before there you go. Salvatore is telling us that it is a panonto, non unto. Panonto. I don't know why. Yeah. So, Roy, let me say goodbye tonight with this image of my friend, Professor Nuccio Chiossi, and your nephew, Fabio Latini, the mayor of Villa. And we brought there the totem for Tuscia and Fiore with all the villages that are part of the festival that is going to take place in April 2022. So in a few weeks, right? So as always, I give you guys a chance to say a last comment or something you guys didn't have a chance to say. So Giulia, would you like to start? Well, what should we pay attention this week?
This week I'm paying attention about Tuscia and Fiore because time goes by so quickly and we have to get ready for this beautiful festival. So I want to renew my invite to my American friends to come here and spend at least 15 days. They are just planning to come here, but I don't want to invite more and more people because more we have fun. So this is my last thought for today.
Thank you very much, Giulia. Roy, what about you? Do you have a last comment before we say goodbye?
I wanted to comment on, we didn't get to talk about Caprarola before.
Right.
I've been there many times, and the Palazzo Farnese there is just another unbelievable thing in this area. You never read about it in American tourist books, but it's worth a trip all by itself. It's really fantastic.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, Roy. Let me see if I can show it another time. I call it geometry and magic, that in Italian sounds like geometria e magia. Is this fantastic old late Renaissance palazzo from a Farnese cardinal. It's really, 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 really gorgeous, and it's worth a trip. Very good, guys. I thank you very much. We are at the very end. Actually, we went a little long today because there were connection issue with Andrea, but it has been a pleasure. Thank you, you guys, as always, and to everybody. The best kept secret in Italy, Tuscia. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Regista, com'è andata oggi?
Bene, benissimo, come sempre. Ci vediamo alla prossima, Giulio.
Dalla Tuscia